Hi everyone, today I am creating some Christmas cards using a leftover paper pad. I'm using the December 2023 SheetLoad card template from Call Me Crafty. I am part of the collaboration team, so you can see the hashtag below, and you can also see it in the video title and also in the description. There should also be a link to a playlist as well, so you can check out all of the other collaborators' videos. We all take a totally different approach to using the SheetLoad, so it's always a great idea to take a look. I grabbed all of my Christmas paper pads. Well, actually, this isn't all of them, but it's the ones that I've got that I've either started using or were at the top of the pile. And I'm just flicking through, trying to get a little bit inspired about how I can use this template to create some more Christmas cards as we're getting pretty close. As I was flicking through, I was trying to work out, can I use some of these scraps to match up? And in the end, I picked the one that I'm flicking through there right now. It is half of a paper pad. Now, I have no idea which company it's from. I suspect it could be My Mind's Eye. It was from a Simon Says stamp card kit from many years ago. I cannot even tell you which one. And I just had it in my stash and I thought I'm going to finish it up and I'm going to use some black mats today. Now, most of the time I use white mats. It's very infrequent that I would use a different color. But I do use black as an alternative if I'm not going to use white. And I find it just makes the cards really, really pop and the colors quite dramatic. And with this red, black and white paper pad, there's a little bit of grey as well. I thought this would work out well. So I've grabbed some really heavy kind of black paper. It's not quite cardstock. This is from Kmart, I think, here in Australia. It is the Anko brand, and it's really quite budget-friendly, black, heavy paper if you're wanting to use it for matting layers. So Anko brand from Kmart, and I recommend checking that out. Possibly available in New Zealand as well, but not so much overseas. I'm running through these pieces of paper, and for the most part I've only got one of each sheet because I do think this was a paper pack broken in half as part of the card kit. So I'm not going to be able to do loads of cards with the same design, but I do have at least one of each sheet, and I'm going through and trying to work out which are the ones that are directional and also relatively Christmassy. And today I just created the cards assuming that they were going to be Christmas. And then along the way, I figured out that there was a few I could turn into birthday cards. And so you'll see that a little bit later in the video where I was a little bit sneaky with how I approached it when I got to the point of trying to work out how I was going to do my sentiments. Now, I haven't shown you all the cutting and chopping today. I find that that's a little bit boring maybe, and that this makes it a shorter video. So I have chopped up all of the pieces ready to go, and I have done a slight adjustment to the card sketch. I do that sometimes. Most of the time I try and follow the sketch itself, at least in principle, but today I made a slight adjustment because I'm not a huge fan of having imbalanced pieces of pattern paper on a base layer. And per the original design, there was quite a big gap between two pieces of paper on the base layer, so I decided to add a third. So the extra piece is just literally 1/2 inch strip, and you can see here that gap. And so I just found some leftover cut-offs from when I was making all of these strips, and I just cut down those small pieces and then combined them up with the pattern papers so that they were ready to go. When you're attaching the 3 pieces to your backing panel, I highly recommend doing each side first and then putting the small strip in the middle. What that allows you to do is line up the edges and have the size gap that you think you're going to need for the backing panel. And then if you've got anything that's slightly off, so you've measured incorrectly, or maybe the paper pad wasn't exactly the right size, and so some of these pieces are a little narrower than you would have expected, then when you actually add the middle piece, as long as you've got it balanced with the same gap on each side, the panel actually ends up looking really good. So here I've done one side, I'll flip it around and do the other, and then I'm going to line up I think it's kind of a white or a light size paper. Yep, here we go. Lining it up so it's nice and even. And if it's not 100% perfect with the edge, then it doesn't matter. It's just going to look balanced and symmetrical. Now I've run through and I've done all of these panels. I think I made 20 cards today. I ended up using some of the leftovers after I'd cut down the Christmas paper to create some extras, and then I have some of these black panels left at the end that I can use for another project. When I was putting these together, the other thing I was really cautious about is when I had a pattern paper that had a direction, I made sure that I put the biggest piece of paper on the right-hand side, and then the middle size on the left, and then the small in the middle. And then this just keeps it true to the original design. So I did have to pay attention here because I'd put my ATG on the back side of the paper, and when I picked it up, it could be facing either direction. So just a tip to just be a little bit careful if you want your cards to look the same. I am notorious for putting one of the pieces in the wrong spot and then just making it work, but if you prefer to have them look the same, then that's one of my tips. The same thing goes for here when adding it to the card base. So making sure that you have the big piece is going to be on the right-hand side of the card. That's even more important because it actually does matter if you put your Christmas trees upside down. So just running through and adding these all to the base, and this was pretty straightforward and lines up with my theory of enjoying bulk card making. If you're enjoying the video, it would be great if you could hit the like button and potentially hit subscribe. This is how YouTube knows to share the video to more viewers. Thank you so much. Okay, so here I'm adding some pieces of leftover paper that I have matted in black. There is a strip like this on the original sketch, and because I didn't have much of the paper left, and the piece that I do have on the right-hand side has baubles, I was like, if I cut that down to be small pieces to add to each card, number one, it's not going to match every card, and number two, the baubles are going to look really odd because there's not enough of them showing on such a small piece of paper. So I decided to use what I had and just complete the cards in a really simple, easy way. So for these few here with the Santas on them, I'm going to add just a circle sentiment with a Merry Christmas. And this is from Lawn Fawn. It's absolutely one of my favorite sentiments. I will put links below to everything I've used today. So if there's anything that you are looking for, you should be able to find that, and it'll help you track it down in store. And then I'm going to do, you can see at the top of the screen, there's some happy birthday. Now I decided that a few of these I could get away with birthday. And because I use birthday cards for donation way more than I use Christmas cards, I thought I'll take the chance and I think there's 6 of them here that are going to be birthday. And I did have some of the extra sentiments already stamped, so it wasn't any extra work for me at all. And all I need to do is run through and attach these with the liquid glue, and these will be all set. For the rest of the Christmas ones, I did do them exactly the same as these. So I've selected just the Merry Christmas. There's a whole Christmas set. So there's other things like Deck the Halls and other sayings, but I just went with Merry Christmas. And then I've added these circles and my cards are complete. I have put another video here that I think you might enjoy. Have a great day.